107 years ago.
You are now listening to
The Red Dot.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. You're a lying dog-faced Tony soldier. You said you were.
There are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
Erase. Smooth my aura. Hold on. Smooth my aura. Refocus my chi. Refocus chi. Refocus chi.
And we're back.
There's a glowing ball inside of me that harnesses all of the negative thoughts, and I'm going to push it away from me. Smooth the chi. Refocus the chi. All right, I'm ready.
They saw that all.
Well, that sucked.
Yes. If you guys don't know, well, we're just going to tell you, we did not have the voice recording
It was on mute.
the whole time.
Oh, boy.
Well, we probably lost some gold, but it's okay.
Well, it's okay. Now they're going to get silver because we're both upset. And so everything we say is going to sound angry.
So, what I thought was funny today when I was sitting on the toilet, Dingo, and I was rolling through the Twitter feed so that way we can, do our social media stuff, keep a presence, right?
That's a lot of information.
So, where is it at here? Let's see. Where is it at?
Oh, my God. We can't even find it.
No. Is it gone? Is it scrubbed from the internet? No. Is it? It's gone, huh? Oh, no, Space G's right there.
We're off to a roaring start, guys. Roaring. That's a hard word to say. Try it.
Roaring. So, Dave Chappelle had his special come out, and everybody's up in a roar because he said some racy stuff about transgenders, right?
Is that racy? Transgender isn't a race.
Hey.
It's gendery.
It's gendery. But what is his name? George Takei?
George Takei.
Yeah, Takei.
He's the Star Trek guy.
Yeah.
Sulu.
And he ended up putting out a tweet, and I can't read it very well from the screen.
I got
so.
you. All right, so if Dave Chappelle had so blatantly attacked another minority group, such as Asians, Muslims, or Jews, would Netflix have so readily stood by his artistic freedom? It's hard not to feel like trans people are considered fair game in today's America. That is why we must speak out. Look, George Takei, everybody is fair fucking game in comedy.
Yes,
Everybody. There are no rules. Get the hell out of here with that shit. Oh, everybody can be made fun of except for us, and we can't put Muhammad on television. No, Muhammad, we're gonna go ahead and take that one because we don't want the backlash. But everybody is fair game in comedy.
Yes. And then that made somebody else do a comment, which is Gad Saad?
Gad Saad?
Yeah.
Gad Saad.
And he tweeted, "You are a true imbecile." Did you miss Dave Chappelle's last story in his latest show? You just read it for me, Dingo. I'm having a hard time focusing.
Did you miss his jokes about space Jews? I'm Jewish with tons of family in Israel. Way to qualify. Stop being such a whiny faux victim. You could not have survived 5 minutes of my childhood in Lebanon. You are speaking to a man who I believe lived through. His parents were, what do you call that? Well, they were didn't they go to the internment camps? To the concentration camps?
Oh, maybe.
World War II?
Yeah.
5
He's
minutes?
probably old enough, yeah.
I think he could do like a solid 7 minutes, Gad Saad. A solid 7.
But so,
And you're not in Israel, your family is.
just from that tweet, Space Jews is now trending all over the place, and now people are sitting here up in arms about what that guy Takei said.
George Takei.
Yeah, Takei said.
Well, Dave Chappelle's Jewish.
Is he? No, he's not.
He's very obviously Jewish.
Get out of here.
He comes from a long line of Hebrew nationals. Much like the hot dogs. You ever have those? Hebrew National.
Yes, they're really good.
God, they're so good.
They're really good.
Very
really
kosher.
Good.
So
kosher is right.
Yes.
100% beef. I wonder, to make it kosher, did they have to like get the knife and slice the throat like you have to make lamb kosher?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
you haven't gone down a Wikipedia wormhole on that
No,
yet?
I have not.
Yeah, the way it's butchered, the like whether you add salt or anything to preserve it, like all of that. There's this whole process.
Really?
Yes, it's all very Jewish.
Space Jews.
Space Jewish. Why haven't we been talking about space Jews? Now, how is this, like, why is this tagged Space Jew?
Because in his comedy special, I guess he mentioned space Jews in it. So it's like what he's saying is that this comedy special was a deliberate attack on trans people. But then then this guy's saying, no, well, if you watched his comedy special, he also talks about space Jews where he's making fun of the Jewish community.
Oh, okay, so it was two separate things.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is he made jokes about space Jews, which is clearly a deliberate attack on the trans community
No.
and the hot dogs
Yes.
that we love.
No. So in Dave Chappelle's special, he makes fun of the trans community.
Yeah, I get
and then
it. Two separate things.
Oh yeah.
I was
Okay.
messing with
I was gonna say, damn it, Dingo, am I gonna have to explain this to you?
But look. Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Were the comments that he made about trans people kosher?
100%.
100% kosher. According to
100% original.
Space Jew ideology,
Yes.
it was kosher.
And we talk about the
Space
Jews.
culture. Space kosher.
All right. So what's this article you got
Dude,
up
I got
here?
okay, so this is very Halloweeny.
Hold on. Let me
Halloweenies.
read this. Protective. Oh no. That's a whole totally different article here.
Oh yeah, no, you're looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
So this one's about Kim Breezy.
Kim Breezy.
Kim Breezy.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
She's a TikTok star, sorta. She is marginally cute. She is marginally popular. But popular enough to have a stalker. So,
Oh.
she said, quote, in a TikTok video, I was informed that an AirTag has been following me since 5 o'clock. For those of you who don't know what an AirTag is, it's this Apple device. It's about this big, and it's literally CIA shit. You could stick it on somebody's car. You can drop it in their drink so they swallow it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You put this thing anywhere, and it will track everywhere that it goes.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people use them for tools at work or for cars or to keep track of their children who think they're getting away with shit and they're not.
Oh yeah. Look at that. That is super
Oh,
small.
you got a picture of it?
Yeah. Oh, it's right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That thing's.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, she got a notification at 11:30 at night saying that there was an AirTag on her person or somewhere, but it tracked her going home, tracked her going to the gym.
Wow.
Posted her home address. Like, I mean, yeah. So there's a stalker. So anyway, she decides she's going to go to the police. Right? The police say, well, there's nothing to report. That's not illegal. Call us when somebody shows up to kill you. Then that's when you call us. Right? That's when we can help you.
When the aggressor has arrived.
Yeah, when the aggressor arrives on scene with knife in hand, you give us a call, and then we'll come and negotiate and talk to you about your next steps to take in
so
this
ass
matter.
backwards, dude.
Totally ass backwards. Anyway, this happened to another TikTok star who is way more famous. She was able to find hers. Her name is Murasaki Sweet Potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
I know.
What
I
a
like that
fucking last
name. I know, right? Her parents were not nice to her. Just,
No, they
you're gonna be Murasaki Sweet Potatoes. I'm Irish. Whatever. We were high. Anyway, she found hers behind her license plate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she found it, I think, almost right away. I think I watched the video and didn't really pay attention because I don't really care. But she said that she found it pretty much right away, and it was stuck behind her license plate. And I mean, these things are so small.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to come plot our deaths
Well,
because we're the new Rush Limbaughs.
yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're taking that mantle.
Yeah. Yeah. And Crowder's following right behind us. He's been doing great. I'm really impressed with
Yes,
his
I am really
shit.
impressed about
Yeah.
Crowder. Well, you want to know what's funny? So looking at that thing, it's like it's about maybe the size of a quarter, if not a dime. Kind of looking at it. How do you not find that? Like, and where would you put it at? in the car to keep it. It's like, did somebody go in there and like cut open her fucking like her seats and stuff it into the stuffing in there? Because
So, when I think about this stuff, I like to try to put myself in that situation.
Yeah,
to
of
say
course.
where like I need to track somebody. First, I would knock the person out.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely using chemicals of some sort. I would knock them out, and I would apply a local anesthetic, probably somewhere like on their butt where they wouldn't be able to see that I was inserting something through incision.
Oh.
And then I would sew it up. Okay, I would put it in there, and I would sew up the wound with dissolvable sutures.
Yeah,
right. And then I'd probably just get away with it, and I'd just be like, all right. And they'd be like, God, my butt itches, but they can't see it, and they don't know it's there. I mean, that's how I would do it. So that's probably what happened to her. Well, they keep searching her car. It's obviously not on the car. It's in your butt.
Now I know if I just lose track of time, Dingo, and it's like hours have passed, I'm just going to start looking all over my body to make sure you haven't inserted anything into me. That sounds gross.
Well, let me put it this way, Scrap. Just because I inserted something into you doesn't mean it's still there when you look for it.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight.
Yes, you are.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Red Dots. I'm Scrap, and I'm here with my co-host, Dingo.
I'm Kamala Harris.
Oh, yes. And the cackle, man.
No, just kidding. It's me. Hi.
So today's show segments are called Kamala's Big Day, The Chip War,
Delicious.
and then we pop tops to Otoya Yamaguchi.
God, you're doing good at those pronunciations, man. I like it.
Yes. And to everybody who hasn't watched our first
Cringy.
YouTube
Super
video.
cringy. So cringy.
Yes, it is.
Go watch it. Go laugh at us. Go make some comments.
Yes, please. Because I had to watch it several times. Dingo's watched it several times, and every time I kind of watch it,
halfway through, I couldn't
like,
do it.
the audio version sounds way more better than when I watch it.
It's true. It does. You're absolutely
But hey,
right.
we're going to power through this and hopefully learn from our mistakes.
Otoyo Yamaguchi.
So, let's start off. Camilla's Big Day, DAFAC.
Defy.
So this happened last week, and we're just gonna jump right in with the clip, and to kind of keep it cringy. This clip is very cringy, but
You know what I notice? I have a real hard time like squeaking anymore.
what are you doing, man?
Well, you remember those real high pitched noises I used to
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
I can't do it.
Why?
I don't know. It just doesn't come out.
That's what makes your comedic gold. There you go. Oh, dude, no.
It's weak.
No,
it's
weak.
weak. And
Weak,
it's
son.
not. It's not smooth. You know. I think it's.
I wonder who the head of the space.
Oh my God. You see, it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen, dude. It's just going to happen.
Oh my God, dude, we were on mute.
No, we're not on mute. No, dude, I was about to say no. No, don't do it. No, no.
Observatory.
I wonder who the head of the Space Council is.
Do you?
Are you kidding? The head of the Space Council is the vice president.
Oh, really?
Kamala Harris is the vice president of the United States, but she's also the president of the Senate and the head of the Space Council.
Well, welcome, you guys.
Thank you so much.
None of those kids want to sit next to her.
Okay, go.
So I may not always
those
be
kids
fast
are
to take
getting
my
paid.
parents' advice, but what is the best advice your parents have given you that perhaps you can share with us today?
You know, one of the most important pieces of advice that I can offer you guys, and I want you to really remember this.
Really remember it, because it's
Never
hard.
let
It's hard to
anybody tell
remember.
you who you are. You tell them who you are. Never let anybody suggest to you that you are what they think you should be.
Oh.
You tell them who you are, and who you know you are, and what you intend to be.
How many times do you think she practiced that?
Got that?
Just to, like,
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Alright.
she's trying to make it
I
sound
want
like she
advice.
said something really profound, and she fucking did.
What is the most surprising thing you found about being vice president?
There have been a lot of things because I've never been vice president before.
I
so
have
there
my
are-
own parking
there
space.
are many new things, but I'll tell
My
you one
house
thing
is
that's-
still
I'm
stuck.
really excited about it, and one of the reasons
I
for
make under
our visit and the time we're
$400,000
gonna
a
spend
year,
time
so I
together
don't
today
get
is the
taxed
Space
too much.
Council. My mom was a scientist, so she would take us
Yeah, that
to
really
the
rubbed
lab
off on you.
with her, like on the weekends and after school, because she had to work long hours. And I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other
The
things
idea
that
of it,
we
'cause
just
you've never
haven't
done
figured
it.
out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that. And so I'm very excited about the Space Council. We're going to learn so much as we increasingly, I think, are curious and interested. In
Tomorrow
the
she's going to get up and talk
potential
about how
for
the world
the
sucks and it needs to
discoveries and
burn
the
to
work
the
we can do in
ground. But
space. So
right now,
that's one of the things I'm most
It's okay,
excited
kids.
about. But the other, you guys are gonna see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own.
oh my God, there's craters on
We're
the
gonna
moon.
see craters on the moon,
Craters
Dingo.
on the moon.
It is gonna be
I can see those without a
unbelievable. So
telescope.
that's one of the things we can do here too, which makes it so exciting. So that's what we're gonna do. You guys ready to go over there?
The moon is hollow.
Oh, come on, let's go.
We then headed to
And the
the
Earth
Naval
is flat.
Observatory, where we met
We've never
Captain
been to the
Kane and
moon.
asked him what they did
It's
there.
all
We do
spoon.
time,
It's all spoon.
and we do space.
Always
the
has
sky and space has been our clock for centuries. So think of the
Time and space has been around for
Earth,
centuries.
The only
time by
authentic person
sundial,
is probably
or
that
a
dude.
telescope like this, which watches
Talking.
stars go through its viewscope.
Probably 'cause he gives that
The same
speech
star
10
passes
times
every
a day.
24
Yes.
hours. That's how we used to tell time.
Oh, really?
Time's very
That's actually
important
pretty cool.
because everything that you do every day somehow relates to time. Power grids, the internet, Wi-Fi, communications, your cell phones, they all need time
Breathing.
Oh,
to make them work. Are we ready to start our journey through space and time? All right, let's do it.
I'm telling you guys, you're gonna have so much fun with this. Ask any questions that you have.
You will have so much fun with
We
this.
then explored the rest of the observatory.
That's cool.
Trying
That's
to find
cool
the
shot.
pieces we needed for our telescope.
No, we should try and do this, Dingo.
A fake video with fake children.
Yes. No, a telescope. We
Let's
should
do.
go to a
Oh.
telescope
This guy might have everything else
and
we
record it
Good
and then
work,
put it
team.
up.
It's time to make your own telescope.
too.
Let's get building.
Hey.
We have 2 paper tubes, 2 magnifying glasses, plus scissors and tape. So we start by cutting a cardboard
Which you
tube.
stole from the janitor's
Then took
office
a magnifying glass and
in
put
the
it at one end.
basement.
After that, we slid on the second paper tube. We punched out the other magnifying glass and put it at the other end of the tube. Then all we had to do was decorate.
Hey.
And they
Yeah,
figured it
we
out all
did
on
it.
their own.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
we
They
get
didn't
to
need
look
the
through
help
the
of
Naval
Kamala
Observatory's
Harris.
telescope.
Jeff told us that looking through in the daylight, we're gonna see a little black dot on the sun.
That's a sunspot. It's about
Your
the
kid
size
look
of the
through
Earth.
this super powerful
So tell me
telescope
what
at
you
the
saw.
sun.
It's so crazy just to see like all orange and know that little tiny dot.
Don't listen
is
to
the size of
Galileo.
Earth. That really tells
You didn't know what he was talking about. Or Copernicus, who's the one who burned their eye sockets out?
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
That's
The
one of them.
magnitude of it all. Earth is kind of small.
Oh, is it?
Right? The Earth is like a speck.
Earth suspect, what are we?
We have designed, I mean, look at the design of this thing. And the people, and the smart people, and the scientists, and the engineers
Smart people.
came up with the idea that if you build something that looks like that, you can see the sun. Yeah. And you can see the moon, right? Well, wait
That's
till
why
they
you
see the
could
moon.
you could
I'm
see it
telling
because it
you,
looks
I
like
just,
that.
I don't know what it is about those craters on the
Oh, the craters. That's the most majestic thing on the moon, huh?
Dream with ambitions. Have big dreams.
You'll remember that?
Huge.
Yes. All right. See you later.
All right, peace. And she's just done. She's just done. All right, see you later.
Horrible.
You know what it was. They were about to go into their 6th hour of filming, which would have meant an entire extra hour
Yeah.
of paying those kids.
Well, no, and so what it was is you can tell she was riffing on that very last part because she said smart people.
I don't
You're
think
gonna
she's got much smart to say about anything.
Like she couldn't think of a better thing to say than smart people.
Smart people did this. It's just, they built something that looked like that so you could look at the sun. It's like a telescope doesn't work because it looks like that. It works because of various focal points that you have going through these lenses. But I mean, whatever. Whatever, Kamala.
Thanks, Kamala.
You had a great day with your child actors.
Yes, she did. And you know what? As much as we're criticizing her, so was everybody else on fucking Twitter, dude.
She's really pretty, though.
Yeah, and the reason
You agreed with me.
and the reason that she was facing criticism is because those kids obviously they look like actors.
Well, they have one of each color of the rainbow.
Yo, no, I didn't notice that, but yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there's one Asian kid, one white girl,
What a fucking way to hide it.
one he kind of looked like he was Samoan. It's kind of hard to judge, and I don't want to. And then you have one black girl, like it was all colors of the rainbow.
So and then Donald Trump Jr. Put out a tweet saying, "Just when you thought the most fake human being in the history of the world couldn't get any more phony, there's this. Her commitment to cringe is truly impressive."
Is Gary Busey identifying as a woman? Is that what he's talking about? Did you just change the subject to Gary Busey?
Yes, yes. Everything always comes to Gary Busey.
It does. It all comes back.
Inside joke, guys.
Circle back.
But so, and this is the thing. These kids were child actors. After they were saying, no, we didn't hire child actors to do this, YouTube then came out and confirmed, and The Hill reported on it, that those kids were in fact child actors.
Wait. So they were like, no, we didn't hire child actors. YouTube did.
Yeah, YouTube did. We didn't do it.
We didn't do
You know,
it.
and this is the thing, is that the children are hired, and the children didn't do a very good job. I knew that they
Go ahead, man. I'm listening. This is dumb. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh God, it stinks. Oh, it stinks. Oh God, it stinks so bad.
Oh, why did you do
Oh,
that?
Sprite and vodka. Why?
Why did you do that?
Why wouldn't I? It had to be done. Oh God, that sucked.
Why would you do
Why
that?
would you let me? You're supposed to be my friend.
Why would you do that?
God.
Oh, I'm glad we have cameras now, Dingo, because nobody would have been able to see that. Do you want some eye drops, buddy?
It's sticky.
Oh, God.
It's sticky. Why? Why is it sticky? No, it's okay. My spit enzymes will dissolve everything. I'm sorry. What were you talking about?
Fuck. To the audio listeners, if you didn't leave after that moment of pause, Dingo just poured Sprite and vodka, the mixture in his cup, into his eye.
do you
Here,
open this?
let me show you. You press down like this.
Oh,
It's child lock, child safety.
oh, good. Yeah, don't want to drink it. This will kill you, right? Oh, that's too much drops. I need more vodka.
Oh, God damn it, Dingo. Don't do it. Well, anyways, but what I was saying is,
Thank you.
since they hired, they hired child actors, they could have at least done a better job to make it look like they weren't hired child actors.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching them, you're just like, you already know. You're just like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was cringy the whole way through. The whole way through. That's the vice
president,
head of Space Force. I love how she's like, Space Force is ridiculous. Fuck Donald Trump. And then it's like, now I'm head of Space Force. It's amazing. Look at these child actors. Wonderful. Yes.
So
all about it.
you brought up this article though about
Which one?
RBG.
Ruth Bader
Yeah,
Ginsburg.
Yeah.
Now, I had some qualms about bringing this up. So, I don't know if you know about this, but Katie Couric is coming out with a book called Going There. And it's set to release October 26th. It's going to be really interesting because if you know anything about Katie Couric, you know that she has interviewed like some of the most famous people and some of the most influential politicians. And pretty much if you're on the map, you had an interview with Katie Couric at some point. So anyway, I have a lot of respect for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, especially with her work with women's suffrage, just who she was and proving that it can be done and that she's passed away. And so now I'm speaking of the dead, which I never particularly care to do.
Yeah.
However, I thought this article was very interesting. So the left really stuck RBG on a pedestal and used her as a template for what they wanted to see in future Supreme Court justices. They used the things that she did to try and make multiple of the Republican nominees for the Supreme Court justices look bad.
Yes.
Anyway, I thought this was fascinating. So obviously this is all alleged by Katie Couric. We do not know. She could
I
be
hope
lying,
she has
but
recordings.
I don't think she's
I
lying.
hope she has recordings.
There's no way she can remember because she is literally quoting verbatim here.
Mm-hmm.
But so in one of their interviews, Ginsburg, I guess, decided to criticize the protesters who take knees at
Oh yeah.
social and sporting events, called them, quote, dumb and disrespectful, and having contempt for a government that has made it possible for their parents and grandparents to live a decent life. Allegedly, she continued and said they probably could not have lived in the places they came from. As they became older, they realized that this was all youthful folly, and that's why education's important.
Yeah.
Like so, the way Couric explained it, she was like, okay, she's got a blind spot for racial justice.
That's what it sounds like.
David Brooks at the New York Times argued when they were talking about whether or not to keep this in the interview.
Yeah.
David Brooks said Couric should remove the statement saying that RGB was elderly and probably didn't fully understand the question.
No, she fully understood.
Those were statements. Dude, it's just like the media to paint the picture that they want. Dismiss
Yes.
everything that disagrees with it as dumb or crazy, just like RGB dismissed the bullshit activists who hate on America as a whole. But that's just
Colin
my
Kaepernick.
opinion.
Like
It's
Colin
just my
Kaepernick.
opinion. I think it's ridiculous. Find another way to be an activist if you actually are an activist. Don't turn your back on 100% of people. Target the things you want to change. That's called activism. Otherwise, what you're doing, if you target everybody, that's called terrorism.
Yes, it
But
is.
Anyway, whatever. Not that taking a knee is terrorism as we think of it, but whatever. You see my point. But yeah, so our RGB, the golden gal, the golden
Yes.
gal,
Hey,
apparently
you
was
know what?
racist. But you know what? She was
She came from a
83 years
different
old.
time.
She came
Okay,
from a different
she's
time.
okay. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, this is how we ruin her legacy. No. It's like she just came from a different time.
Well, and I think it, it kind of says something that, the right, for the most part, I don't think is going to give a fuck.
No.
Everybody has the one unpopular opinion or whatever, and maybe this is RGB's unpopular opinion. But the left, had this been anybody else, would be like,
Yeah.
racism, you're racist. And
Yes,
they
they
would
would've.
totally cancel culture the hell out of them.
And trying to get their statues taken down.
I don't think there's anything wrong with not being perfect.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think this in any way detracts from her legacy, which like I said, I was a little, is this really something?
Yeah.
Do I want to highlight this?
Yeah.
So I kind of took a step back, but to me, there's nothing wrong with it. RGB was still a legendary soldier for women's suffrage. She still became the first lady on our Supreme Court.
Yes.
Like, she changed the world.
The only bad thing.
And this doesn't take away from that, but it does paint the, hey guys, do you really want to cancel everything that even the slightest little bit
Yeah.
disagrees with you? Like, because you're going to cancel RGB.
Yeah. Yeah. She should have already been canceled because she was a liberal.
Yes! That. And therein closes the segment.
Well,
Indeed.
so this brings us to our main segment now.
Dumb and disrespectful. Sorry, Colin. We're on a first name basis.
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick no longer plays football anymore. He's too busy being a social justice warrior, or he just isn't good at football. It's probably that.
He's not good at social justice either. He's really good at growing that hair, though.
Yes,
I mean,
he
you
is.
see
Yeah,
that
no,
thing?
it's really good looking hair. Nice fro. He's came into my work once, and was there. I'm not gonna go too far because it's like I don't want to explain where I work, but yeah, he was there.
Did he take a knee? Did he come in and he was like, you Tebow it?
Tebow right in the middle
Just of everybody.
of everybody, just to make sure they know that he started that.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, this brings us to our main segment, and this is we're gonna call this the chip war,
The main course.
and it's like not like nacho cheese chips. You know, it's more like
Well, it can't be because that's
computer
nacho
chips.
cheese.
Now, I'm going to put this out front. This is all speculation, okay? And I have facts to back my speculation.
Speculate away.
Okay? But it's
Where's my
October,
pipe?
so I'm trying to strike fear, but I'm not trying to fearmonger. This is something everybody should know about, and we should be criticizing to the T on our decisions and actions to this inevitable situation. Yes, this inevitable situation will lead to a possible world war if we let it get out of hand.
War of the superpowers. Disruption globally. Continue.
So, and it all starts with Taiwan and China's current aggressive advances. I know you were waiting for me to say it the way you wanted me to say it. I'm not going.
Come on, I replaced all the words in the entire script.
It's China.
There you go.
China. So yes, you might be thinking we just got out of a 20-year war, and the reasons for that 20-year war is that we inserted ourselves into a country's politics and ideologies. We were
So deep in that country.
fist deep.
So deep in that country, it'd be crying.
and if you think that you are correct, and it all can be said for the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and the Iraq War. We made up reasons to be there. But
We just wanted to get laid.
God damn it.
Or
dude.
something. I don't know. That didn't make any sense.
So, but Taiwan itself is different. Taiwan is not a nation broken into factions where desert tribes war over holy cities with a thirst to conquer, like the Eurasian steppe tribes that came before them. Nor is it a third world country that has resources to take advantage of and is under a dictator.
True.
Yes. Taiwan is a sovereign nation. It has a democracy, and not to mention, it is a first world country, which means it is aligned with the United States and NATO, which I didn't know that. A difference between a first world country, second world country, and third is...
Yeah, there's certain technological requirements and
Yeah.
to be progressive.
You want to know who it's considered a second world country?
Peru. No, sorry, Chile.
Them, also Soviet Union and China's all considered a second world country.
The Soviet Union's still around?
Sorry. I meant whatever
the
Russia is
USSR?
called. Yes. Which is a great song.
Czechoslovakia?
Back in the USSR, you don't know how lucky you are.
That's the jam.
But since they are part of NATO, means that we have an obligation to help defend countries that are part of that treaty.
True.
Now, with all that being said, if our word is not bond, then what other reasons is there to step in and help defend Taiwan?
Now, I just kind of want to say our word is pretty fucking garbage.
Yes,
right
it
now.
is.
We're like, oh yeah, we'll protect you, and oh yeah, we'll be around to help you guys when the Taliban decide to attack. Oh, pull out in 11 days, and you're taking over.
Our word's not held very high.
Yeah, I mean Vietnam happened for the reasons, not the war itself, but our pullout happened because we were overwhelmed.
Yes.
If we had stayed there, it would have just been an unnecessary loss of human life. The shit that happened in Kabul.
Yeah, no.
Shit that happened in Kabul.
We could have prevented it.
There's no way we'll be helicopters evacuating people from the top of the U.S. Embassy. No way.
What a bad statement.
No similarities to Vietnam whatsoever. I don't know.
He said Saigon, and he even specifically
call
pointed
it
out
Saigon?
Well, because that's where it was. That's how we
Well,
left.
at the time it was Saigon, I suppose.
But he
For 5
related
minutes.
it to Saigon. He's like, it will not be like Saigon.
And it was.
Well, so the first reason I will bring up, and it might seem a little silly, but I guarantee it's not, and that reason is semiconductors. Do you know what a semiconductor is, Dingo?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you know what a semiconductor is?
It's a chip.
Technically, a semiconductor is an element that can take heat or apply to energy and transfer it into an electron.
Yeah, it's the things that transfer the information on a chip in there, and it's made out of silicon.
Not like what's her name? What the fuck's her name?
Who?
Not silicone. Silicon.
Silica.
Let's clear this up for America.
Silica.
Silicon comes from silica sand,
Yes.
which can be found in any sand, and you melt it. Silicone is for boobies. There is a difference.
So, Taiwan is the
Nuclear.
leading producer of semiconductors and
Are
is
they really?
at the cutting edge of creating new and more advanced semiconductors.
No kidding. I
Yeah.
had no idea. Do they have
Yeah.
a giant desert there or something? Or
No, they have to import it in from Japan. So Japan has a big resource of silica, and then they import it into Japan. From Japan to there, and then they make the semiconductor.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
that's fascinating. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. And everyone, and what I mean by everyone is worldwide. China, USA, Canada, Mexico. You name the country, they import semiconductors from Taiwan.
Wow.
Every single business, cell phone companies, computer companies, TV companies, medical engineering companies, car manufacturers, military
Pornhub,
technology.
XNXX.
We're naming stuff again.
Porn.
You name a business that makes some type of electronic, their semiconductors come from Taiwan.
The rabbit. Comes from Taiwan.
America and China are currently in a Cold War, and people are calling it the Chip War, hence the name of the segment.
Chips.
Due to the pandemic, shortages in supply needed to create semiconductors inevitably created a shortage in exports of semiconductors from Taiwan. You all right there?
It's really like fuzzy.
Well, it's probably because it got underneath your contact lens. There you go. And this
It
shortage...
looks red. Is it really red? I guess it's all right. It's gooey though.
So this shortage of semiconductors sent America and China into a frenzy to start mass production of facilities to produce semiconductors. But by the time these facilities are up and running, it would take 2 to 3 years for America or China to reach the level of standards of design and production of semiconductors to match Taiwan.
Wow.
Yeah, and
So they're really far ahead in their
Oh
manufacturing
yeah, no,
capability.
it's not even that. We still have to build these facilities, so we have to wait till the facilities get done, and then it's going to take us 2 to 3 years after that to even catch up.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, and that right there is according to Shifu Digital. It's a YouTube channel that reports on news. So that's where I got it from.
Wow.
So this begs the question, though: why doesn't America, the leading superpower, have facilities already built making semiconductors?
Well, I think we have some.
No.
No? Really?
Yeah.
How does Intel do their chips? They outsource everything?
Yeah, everything comes from Taiwan. Intel gets everything from Taiwan. NVIDIA
Wow.
gets everything from Taiwan.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. And we're going to watch a clip of Sager from The Hill, and he explains it the best on what's going on and why we don't have fucking facilities here in America.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, let's take a look at that. What the hell? We don't do any chip manufacturing.
No, dude. It fucking blew my mind when I was sitting here looking at this.
So at least semiconductor manufacturing, because we must make our integrated chips here, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
we get the board and then we wire it ourselves.
Yes, I believe so.
But as far as like our boards,
and you want to know what we do?
we don't make them.
You want to know what we do? We take our silica sand and we export it to Taiwan.
Because they just got that shit unlocked.
Yes, and it's
Wow.
it's only there's 3 companies there that make them, and I think he'll say one of the companies that's there. Then they're the
I don't
they're
trust
the top
him.
one.
I trust you.
Oh, thanks. You're not gonna trust the expert?
No. You're the expert.
Once upon a time, America was the world's leader in semiconductor manufacture. Much of the technology and intellectual property, it was developed right here on our shores. To put it in perspective, in 1990, 37% of the world's chips were manufactured right here. Today, it's 12. We consume a hell of a lot more than 12% of the world's semiconductors. How did this happen? Because the people buying the semiconductors wanted cheaper ones, and Singapore, South Korea, China, and Taiwan were happy to oblige them. Not because they were doing it better than us, but because their governments massively subsidized the industry and undercut our company's ability to compete. The government here did not bat an eye. Just let the jobs and the capacity shift right overseas at the exact same moment that semiconductors became more essential than ever. So what's the problem with that? First of all, let's take a look at a map. Does it really make sense to not have a real backup plan when the largest chip makers are anywhere between 100 and a few hundred miles from the range of Chinese missiles? And in one case, the place where it happens is literally claimed as Chinese territory, known as Taiwan. Yeah, that doesn't seem so smart. But national security implications aside, what happens when markets get screwy? You guessed it. We don't have an ability to guarantee supply. And what happens in that case? American companies, and worse, American workers, suffer. General Motors, our most famous car company, has to literally shut down 3 factories because of a shortage in semiconductors.
Wow.
They could lose as many as 10,000 vehicles produced. And new estimates say the auto industry alone is going to lose $61 billion. Yes, $1 billion in sales, all for want of semiconductors.
Here comes the government.
Auto
bailing
sales
them out
are the
again.
tip of the iceberg.
Let them die.
Now imagine if we didn't have just a pandemic and we instead had a war. Maybe one that we weren't even involved in. Something in Asia. Well, guess what? We literally have to shut down production of all consumer electronics, cars, and household appliances to the extent that we even make them here anymore.
Wow.
This is what the people who run this country have gotten us into. And the biggest problem is how the hell to get out of this. It takes billions and billions and billions of dollars. And worse, lots and lots of time. It could cost a ton of money to build the infrastructure to manufacture semiconductors, and there currently is literally no way to do it without waiting several years until your first chip rolls off the assembly line.
Okay, sure, I can understand that, but he literally said that we had 37% of the world's semiconductor production back in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's no way that infrastructure isn't there or can't be like what's the word I'm looking for? Refurbished into a functional factory. And not only that, if we have 12% right now, and the car industry, which is shitty industry, is looking at losing $62 billion, then why don't they take some of the money now, look into the future instead of taking it from our government when they fail, and put it into chip infrastructure?
No, that's very true.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this is the thing.
This guy's screaming doomsday, and it's like there's solutions right in front of you.
Yeah, but the thing is, so I was reading an article where they wanted to, I forgot who put up the proposal, but they wanted to do a bill for $20 billion just to get put into making facilities for chip manufacturing, and it just started. They just passed it, like I want to say maybe a month or two ago.
So we're looking at
a
year or two before it.
Yes, so they're currently starting to build in Arizona right now. It's
that makes sense.
Yeah, they're building in Arizona. So whenever that gets done, but we're in a pandemic, so it's been hard for construction to even start up.
Oh God! If they would just loosen their death grip on our freaking privatized industry, maybe we could actually get back to work.
Yeah, and that's also just the thing too. So like,
not that Inslee controls the states, but he controls ours.
He controls ours, and he sucks. But we have to wait for that to get done. And he's also right when he says, it'll be 2 to 3 years before the first chip rolls off, and then that means we have to then get up production to really get it going the way Taiwan has it.
Sure. And you might not be able to be first in class, but that doesn't mean you're not a player in the game.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be like, oh, we can't be number one, so let's not even fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like,
but we are trying to get back to building, making our, because we have to. Like,
well, imagine if we did that with oil and we were like,
we're
not number one. That's Saudi Arabia, right? Yes. So we only do 25% of our own domestic oil that comes from like Alaska and stuff.
Yeah.
What if we were just like, we can't be first in it? Fuck it.
Well, that's what the liberals want.
Well, yeah, they're trying to blow up pipelines, and they're doing all the ransomware, and they hired all those Russian people to make bots and stuff on the internet, and they were what's that sex island thing you told me about?
Yeah.
Democrats, man, Democrats. They want to blow up the moon. It's crazy. It's great. You should read their platform, man. It's nuts. They want to ban cheese.
Oh, not
ban
cheese.
It.
What are we going to do with cabbages then?
You're going to eat them cheeseless, bro. Cheeseless.
So, to hit the nail on the head.
That was a bunch of fragrant lies, by the way.
China, which it looks like they're forcibly trying to take Taiwan, is to succeed and take Taiwan. They get everything. They get the biggest manufacturing plant of semiconductors, which will make them 2 to 3 years ahead of us on weapons technology. If that doesn't scare you, let's roll into a reason that supersedes semiconductors entirely. Preventing a war. A world war. China has expressed vocally for many years that they plan on the reunification of Asia underneath China rule by 2045. The plan is to take Taiwan by 2025 and Okinawa by 2045. And if you don't believe me, here's Winnie the Pooh, Xi Jinping, saying that they will take Taiwan by force if necessary.
For a second there, I thought you actually had, like, somebody did a YouTube video of Winnie the Pooh, like, explaining this. Well, Christopher Robin.
Well, the reason he's Winnie the Pooh is because he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
I don't think so at all.
You don't think he looks like... he kind of looks like Winnie the Pooh. Look at his face. Look at that face, Dingo. Look at that face.
I need a side by side.
Look at that face.
Wow.
Look at that. You don't see Winnie the Pooh right there?
Mm-mm.
Really? Wow.
Reunification is inevitable. Xi Jinping's message to Taiwan 40 years after China ended its military confrontation with the island. Now the Chinese president says use of force is still on the table.
We're willing to negotiate sincerely and expend all our efforts in striving for the prospect of peaceful reunification. We do not promise to renounce the use of force and reserve the right to use all necessary measures.
Taiwan has never...
We don't want to use force, but we'll reserve the right to use it if necessary. Fuck, dude. That's scary. Scary.
I don't know.
Scary. But that threat was made 2.5 years ago, right? It still holds fear to this day, because here's a clip of the Prime Minister of Taiwan vocalizing that fear.
Joseph Wu is the Foreign Minister of Taiwan. Minister Wu, thank you so much for giving us your time. It's much appreciated.
It's my pleasure.
Do you feel threatened by mainland China right now?
Yes. The answer is rather simple. If you look at the Chinese military activities around Taiwan, it is a threat, and it's very threatening. Just give you some examples. On September 23rd, just a few days ago, the Chinese sent 24 military aircrafts through Bashi Channel, the southern part of Taiwan, to simulate attacks on our bases on the east and southeast side. And they not only do that on September 23rd, they have done that before. And other than the overt military threat, they have also done the infiltrations.
Wasn't that a joint military
their
exercise
colonies
with Russia?
inside Taiwan.
Yeah, I think so.
They do a lot of disinformation campaign. They also do hybrid warfare, and on many other fronts, they also try to block Taiwan's participation in international activities or international organizations. They try to prevent Taiwan from having better relations with other countries. So if you look at the relations between Taiwan and China, China has been threatening Taiwan, and the threat seems to be more serious than before.
But threats and intimidation are one thing. Do you believe that Xi Jinping would actually act on those threats?
That is something that we have been watching very carefully. in real life world, there's not a black and white situation, but we are very concerned that China is going to launch a war against Taiwan at some point, even though the threat may not be imminent at this point, but there might be some conditions that China may use force against Taiwan. For instance, if their internal situation is getting more serious than before, and in the very classical way of understanding about the authoritarianism, they might launch a crisis externally in order to divert domestic attention. So in the recent power ration or power outages in China, that is something that we have been observing very carefully because we are concerned if the domestic discontent or economic slowdown is getting very serious, Taiwan might become a target of this authoritarianism to divert its domestic attention.
Here's the other thing that could...
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Clashing Star from our faction, when he would come in and he'd be like, guys, this guy won't leave me alone. He keeps mugging me and attacking me. and he's a lot more powerful than me, and just wham. And it's just like, dude, you're gonna play the game with everyone else. It means you're playing the game with everyone else, which means all the big guys are there and they all see like what you're worth and stuff. And it's kind of like, in the end, I don't think there's anything anybody can do about it. China wants Taiwan.
Oh, well, we need to do something about it. We do.
A world war over now hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about China's economy and about us being the world market for sales.
Mm-hmm.
China could withhold chips to drive the price up, but in 2 years, we're going to have our own infrastructure to make our own chips.
Yeah.
And we have an entire desert in between Arizona and California that's full of silicon sand. Like, we could absolutely jump back. So I guess I just don't see what the problem is.
Well, so the thing is if they take Taiwan, they get that facility.
Sure.
So now that makes China the leading innovation for these semiconductors, which means that they're going to build better weapons technology. And if they end up taking that then gives them a military, a strategic military base on top of that.
Okay. Well, for starters, being able to produce your own silicon boards does not equate to better military technology.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to build more faster.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
They can build more. They could build faster, sure, for a couple years. But in the end, unless they crush Taiwan's gross domestic product, they will still have to export some. So they're going to choose who to do that to, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing. If they take Taiwan, they're just not stopping there. And we'll get to it here in a second. But yeah, it's not just Taiwan. Everybody on that Eastern Asian area is so afraid if Taiwan goes down because they know if Taiwan gets taken, then it's just
placement in the ocean.
Yeah, then it's Australia.
Like its geographical
yeah, because China wants Australia too.
Why?
I don't know.
Have they been there?
Yeah, but they want it for military reasons. Yeah, dude, it's scary. But so if you're thinking, you just said, China plans on taking Taiwan by 2025, then that means it's 4 years away, right? We have time to plan for this. It's not a necessary thing right now. But the thing is, that's just the estimated timeline that China wants to be at by that time, by taking Taiwan by 2025.
Sure, but haven't they been saying that for decades?
Yeah, but they've made it
by 1993. Taiwan will be part of China.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but
sure
no, but so Xi Jinping wants it by 2025.
Yeah,
and then that's in all actuality, that's just a fucking goal time, right? China, if they can do it sooner, they will. And I know this because of their plan was put out in 2019, and Trump was currently still the president at the time, and if he won his second, and if he won his second term, that means Trump would be out of presidency by 2025. So that means when we're transitioning presidents here, then it's a better time for them to come in because we're not going to be wanting to deal with Taiwan and everybody else.
True.
Yeah. So now the fact that China knows if they take Taiwan, their chances are high of succeeding because the one country that would put up opposition to them is no longer a threat. And the reason for no longer a threat is you can thank the former Vice President Biden for that, because Biden has made it clear that we will not interfere with Taiwan and China because the Taiwan Relationship Act signed in 1979.
Except for the 24 secret training missions that we had over there with Black Ops.
Yes.
And the submarine that the drunk Australian crashed on the floor. That I don't know why I keep saying drunk Australian. It's just because they just got them. They don't know how to drive them. But yeah, we just sank a submarine over there on accident. They just found out about all of our secret operations in Taiwan. And there was something else. I keep forgetting the third thing. But man, we just keep pissing along.
So basically, China and Taiwan have to come to an agreement on some type of unification under a two-party system, and no other nation can interfere with that agreement. And it's kind of like what was supposed to happen with Afghanistan and the Taliban, but we saw how that played out. Yeah, didn't work out too well, did it? So you see, China, and like you were saying, has made statements like this and tried this once before. So to scare and threaten Taiwan during their first presidential election during the Clinton administration in 1996, China fired 3 M9 ballistic missiles at the Hunan Mountains by Taiwan. The United States threatened China with nuclear attack if they do such a thing again, which is in defiance of the Taiwan Relationships Acts. But obviously Bill Clinton didn't care, and he showed China Bill Clinton ain't nothing to fuck with.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Wu-Tang. And Bill Clinton's currently in the hospital.
He's also honorary Wu-Tang. Says me, because I'm not. Yeah.
So now, people are probably saying, if China really wanted to take Taiwan, why haven't they done it already? Just like you were saying, why haven't they? If they really wanted it, why don't they just do it, right? Well, if you know about the histories of the Mongols, China has been trying to take control of these islands for centuries, but have failed every time. The East China Sea is unpredictable, and waters are calm only 2 times out of the year, October and April. Out of those 2 months, the East China Sea and the Japan Sea gets hit with typhoons, or the fog is so thick that it makes it hard to navigate through. If China's going to attack, it is going to be in April or October. Now, to close this out, how is Taiwan being taken going to start a world war? That's the big question. Well, if China takes Taiwan, they are not stopping there. Next is Okinawa. And if they take Okinawa, you better bet your bottom dollar that Japan is next, because now they don't have to deal with the small window of attack time. With the key military bases on Taiwan and Okinawa, they now have easy access through the Pacific Ocean to every place they want to conquer. So, and that's just the thing. So they want Okinawa as well. And they want and that plan's supposed to be done by 2045. That's part of Japan. So they're not just taking Taiwan, they're going to take Okinawa, and then that's going to put Japan at war. And then that's going to drag in Australia. And then both of those people getting dragged in, and a war is inevitably probably going to drag us in. And that's why we can't let Taiwan get taken, and we need to step in and do something about it, because then these events are going to happen like a domino. One's just going to happen, boom, 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 and it's going to end up in a World War period.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, don't take my word for it or our word for it. Here's a Bloomberg clip that will explain what we are saying. Oops.
Chunks.
It
didn't work.
Oh.
Hold on.
Up to the late 19th century, Taiwan, then known as Formosa, passed through the rule of Dutch and Spanish colonizers, its Aboriginal peoples, and Chinese dynasties. In 1895, the Qing dynasty of China lost Taiwan to Japan after a humiliating military defeat. Taiwan was then ruled by the Japanese for the following 50 years. Japan wanted to make Taiwan into a model colony, using it as an example to persuade other Asian nations to join the Japanese Empire.
They raised living standards, they improved education, they improved health, and built a lot of infrastructure so that 50 years later, Taiwan was actually one of the more developed parts of the region. After World War II, Taiwan was returned to the control of the Chinese government, at that point the Republic of China. The Republic of China rapidly lost the Chinese Civil War to the Communist Party of China, and as a result ended up on Taiwan as a regime in exile with very few resources, a lot of refugees, a very poor population struggling to survive.
Taiwan relied heavily on US economic aid, but by the middle of the 1960s, most of that aid was phased out as the US wanted Taiwan to develop its own economy. So Taiwan changed its strategy, moving from an import substitution policy, which replaced foreign imports with homemade goods, to an export-oriented economy.
And Taiwan moved very, very quickly towards exporting very cheap, mostly consumer goods to the United States. And as a consequence, over the next 20 to 30 years, Taiwan's economy boomed.
Damn, that's a lot of advertising.
So beginning in the 1980s, the government in Taiwan started to think, how do we take the next step in our economic development? And they identified, among many areas, semiconductors as a critical technology. And so that really took off in the 1990s with the growth of Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, that eventually, now today is an absolutely crucial company for any company that's making technology. Their chips are in smartphones, they're in tablets, they're in computers, they're in games consoles, and they're in cars as well. Anything that you need chips for, largely, you're having to come to TSMC. And so this, by extension, puts Taiwan in a fairly strong position that it is a key node in the tech supply chain globally. And so it is a really, really valuable partner for every single country in the world.
Alongside this economic shift, Taiwan's political landscape also changed dramatically. Under the rule of the Chinese Nationalist Party, or KMT, for 4 decades Taiwan was an authoritarian regime until the end of martial law in the late 1980s. Then Taiwan gradually transitioned to democracy. The first direct presidential elections took place in 1996, followed by several peaceful transfers of power.
So the Democratic Progressive Party is the current party that governs Taiwan. They were a party that came out of this movement of activists pushing for more democracy in Taiwan in the 1970s. And their fundamental stance is that Taiwan is already an independent country.
But this isn't the same stance held by Beijing.
大陆和台湾同属一个中国的事实从未改变。一个中国原则是两岸关系的政治基础。
So from the People's Republic of China, the PRC's perspective, Taiwan remains the last piece of an unfinished civil war. It's an illegitimate regime. It's a breakaway territory that needs to be unified with the motherland. The Chiang Kai-shek regime won a reprieve in June 1950 when the Korean War broke out. The United States then stepped in to prevent a final Chinese Communist Party, CCP-led invasion of the island of Taiwan. The United States has been there ever since as the guarantor of Taiwan's security.
Despite this guarantee of security, in 1979 the US broke ties with the Republic of China on Taiwan and established them with the People's Republic of China in Beijing.
Here things get complicated. The United States, in one of our communiques with the People's Republic of China, acknowledged the PRC position that Taiwan was part of China, but the United States also did not accept the PRC claim to Taiwan. That has been our position ever since, and so in effect, the U.S. views Taiwan's status as undetermined.
But even after 1979, they have maintained informal relations with Taiwan and continued to invest here, continued to support the economy, and have most importantly continued to sell arms to Taiwan.
With the US in the middle, China and Taiwan have avoided war for over 7 decades, but tensions between the two sides have risen in recent years. Emerging as a superpower on the world stage, China has become more assertive in its claims of sovereignty over Taiwan. While most of the Taiwanese prefer maintaining the status quo for now, many young people favor overt independence for Taiwan.
The young people have really been at the heart of this political transformation we're seeing in Taiwan over the past 8-9 years, where they started pushing back against this economic integration between China and Taiwan that started under former President Ma Ying-jeou.
One of the best examples was the Sunflower Movement that broke out in March of 2014. This movement was led mostly by college students opposed to negotiations with Beijing over a free trade agreement. The movement occupied the Legislative Yuan, Taiwan's parliament, for more than 3 weeks in order to block that parliament from considering this trade agreement and voting on it. So in effect, the Sunflower Movement protesters blocked further economic integration with
That's
Taiwan,
actually pretty
China.
cool.
Taiwanese podcasters
They were able to
Kylie
do
Wang
that.
and Ken Young joined some of the rallies and marches and started their popular news show during the movement.
We have mixed feelings towards China because on one hand, I know that a lot of young people want to explore the big market in China because China have just much more opportunity and sometimes even better salaries nowadays.
Yeah, especially for those who just graduated from college.
On the other hand, China just keep on bullying us. We just don't like what they're doing. We want to have economic growth, but we do not want to sacrifice our economic growth with our freedom of speech, with our independence, with our democracy.
Since the Sunflower Movement, the China-friendly KMT party has seen its polling numbers decline steeply, while the DPP leader Tsai Ing-wen won the presidential elections in 2016 and was re-elected in 2020.
They like double penetration too,
as her bottom line effectively that Taiwan is an independent sovereign nation. Her stance is that we're willing to talk, but only as equals. And that is obviously a position that Beijing is unwilling to accept.
China cut official communications with Taiwan in 2016 and stopped individual travel permits to the island in 2019.
Wow.
It's also upped the rhetoric on taking control of Taiwan and increased military maneuvers, all of which is a concern for the US.
Taiwan is by far the most likely issue to draw the United States and China into a direct military conflict.
Yeah. Interesting. That's from the experts, Dingo.
Yeah.
What did you think of that, man? I found that very interesting. The history behind it, what they explained, was actually pretty cool. I learned a lot of stuff I didn't know about that political area and in their politics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So, this is the thing. So, Japan is fully aware of the threat that is China. And since Japan is part of NATO, they will enlist the help of everyone who was part of that treaty, America included. We will inevitably be brought into this conflict whether we want it or not. America will have to make a decision to help defend NATO or sit back and watch. But if we decide not to help, we will slowly see China come for us, and our decision to fight back will be too late.
Well, speaking of Australia.
The king of segues.
Yeah. You know it. So we could follow the thread here, and I could be like, well, speaking of, the nuclear subs that we have in their waters, and then we're selling them to Australia, so that Australia can be like a military standpoint, blah, 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 blah. Speaking of Australia, there was a man accused of stealing a tracker from a great white shark. But check this out. He took the tracker, pocketed the damn thing, and then started coming around to beaches and making people think there was a great white shark in the water and shutting the beach down.
Dickhead move.
Yeah, only in Australia. This is the same guy who crashed our submarine on the bottom of the South China Sea. is now scaring the shit out of people, making them think he's a great white
Gary
shark.
Busey?
Gary fucking Busey.
It always comes back to Gary Busey.
It does, doesn't it? It's insane. So he's gotten a public scolding.
I'm sure.
For it. But they're not sure what they're going to charge him with. Let's see. They just like, it's very irresponsible, and the false alarm caused unnecessary fear to residents and people using the water. Using the water. That's a weird way to put it. But anyway, so they don't know what they're going to charge this guy with. But
so what you're telling me is now there is a great white shark roaming around untracked.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
that seems like the more dangerous.
That's off the
thing.
coast. So he was like fishing or something. I don't remember exactly what, but he's fishing. Accidentally got this shark up next to his boat. Took the tag, and he's right off the coast there. So
can you imagine? Because Australia does everything in the extremes, right?
Even their animals.
Yes,
everything.
Yes, because the koalas have fucking herpes, or what do they have? They have syphilis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every single one of them has syphilis because they just like to fuck.
Well, that's not how I got syphilis. What are you implying? What are you saying? I've never even been to Australia.
But so they take everything to extreme. So I just see the first time they saw like this chip and it shows that a shark's dead, the fucking military shows up in full force. And they're just sitting there. Did we get it? The shark is invincible. God damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, I gotta admit personally, like, if I had the opportunity,
yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it.
Absolutely. I'd be like, guys, watch this. I'm gonna clear the beach out. Throw it in the water. Just make sure it's on.
God damn it. Oh, that was hilarious. Is there anything else to that story?
No.
Is that it? Okay.
That's it.
What an awesome segue.
Well, we were talking about Australia eventually. Anyway,
yeah, I know. I guess so.
Right?
Well, this brings us into Poppin' Tops, people.
My favorite part.
Favorite part. The favorite part, because that means the show's done, and we get to have some fun. We don't have to be serious.
Wait. Are we ever?
No, we're children.
Okay.
We're children. I don't know Papa yet.
You know what I was thinking the other day? And this, tell me if you think this is true. All right. I've made it to this age, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you never feel adult. I think everybody feels like kids and they just fake it.
Oh, what about people who are business owners?
I think they fake it.
Adults.
I think they're like, I have to appear to be an adult, but on the inside, they want to go home and play Fortnite.
Do you think Donald Trump ever feels like a kid?
I don't think he's ever felt like an adult.
Grab her by the pussy.
Grab live by the pussy.
So, today we are popping tops to an anniversary, Dingo. The anniversary is of Otoya Yamaguchi.
Yes.
And he assassinated...
Otoya Tamagotchi.
He assassinated a communist, Dingo.
Good.
I
mean...
Good.
Actually, I regret saying that. That was dark. You can believe what you want to believe. It's not going to work. Just don't push it on me. Fine. I don't think communists should die, though.
Communists should be in small communities where communism
where it
works.
would work. Yeah. Go to your nudist colony. You can have 50 people or under. Guess what? It works.
So, Otoya Yamaguchi was a Japanese right-wing nationalist. I don't know why I had a hard time saying that word. Who assassinated Injiro Asanuma.
Injiro Asanuma.
Who was the chairman of the Japan Socialist Party. And that happened on October 12th. So, today's the 15th, right? Or 16th?
16th.
All right, so just a couple days ago, the anniversary happened. So, Yamaguchi rushed the stage and stabbed Asanuma with a wakizashi short sword on live television. And we have the clip of this, so we're going to give it a watch.
選挙の際は国民に評判の悪い政策は全部捨てておいて
Oh! Let's rewind that.
Brutal. That's like.
Oh!
I believe wakizashis are 14 inches long, so that's 14 inches in and out. You said he got him 3 times?
No, he got him twice.
Twice, and then tried for a third, and they
Yes.
pulled him off?
Yes.
Wow. So he was 17 years old.
Yeah, he was 17 years old.
And he's an assassin.
Yes.
Who used a sword in 1960.
Yeah. So after being arrested and interrogated, Yamaguchi committed suicide within the detention facility. So,
wow.
We pop tops to Otoya Yamaguchi for single-handedly stopping the Communist Party from taking root in Japan.
To ninjas. Because why not? Because morality.
Yes, because of morality. You're just fucking up. You pour vodka into your eye.
It had to be done.
And you made your beer go down the wrong tube that you coughed.
It had to be done.
Dingo, you're just self-destructive today. What's going on, buddy?
Sadomasochism.
What's going on?
I need help.
Are you really that hurt of the cringiness that episode one
our
of
first
our
video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna know how I know that was really cringy? It's my cousin.
Oh, yeah.
My
Joey,
cousin.
how did you know it was cringy?
My cousin Eloy. He watched it because my dad sent it out to all my family members, right? So he watched it, and then he sent me a YouTube video of how to make a podcast.
Oh God, are you serious?
And I said, thanks for sending it to me. But that's how I was like, oh, that's how I know
man.
it was cringy.
Oh man.
And that's probably he probably hasn't listened to the podcast ever before, and that was his first time listening to it. Was that episode.
Well, he should have just listened to it because man, that episode was gold.
It was actually really good, dude.
It was amazing.
Yes.
I thought. I mean, I think we're the only two who enjoy listening to it, but it is what it is.
All right, guys. So, you can find us at thereddots.com. We have links to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
OnlyFans, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're going to start up the OnlyFans. Get ready for that one.
Yeah, banana hammocks.
All day.
All day.
And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to sit in, and the camera's going to be focused on our crotch. Yes, and we're just going to be rambling. Should we watch porn videos at the same time?
No, that'd be copyright infringement. We have to get licensure.
Plus, the website is the place you can view all of our show notes. We provide links to all the clips that we watched if you're the audio listener, so you can go watch the clips. And also, we provide all the sources we pull from, so that way you know I'm not lying about shit.
Yeah,
yes,
you can
go
fact check us.
Please do. For the YouTube viewers, make sure to hit subscribe and I guess press the bell. The bell should let you know when new content is up.
No, you know what? We're not hungry little bitches. You don't have to press that bell. We don't give a fuck.
Also, make sure to like and comment.
We are not like everyone else, okay? We are not, oh, I'm 16 years old and I got a TikTok. No. You subscribe because you like it.
Yes.
And you will like it.
Yes.
All right.
We upload every Wednesday, or at least we try to.
Every Wednesday.
And I think I kind of got this down, so everything
sooner?
should come out on time. But yes,
or at least on time.
Yes, on time.
Let's just keep it Wednesday. No reason to.
Oh, you know what? And when I was reading, I guess Wednesday's the best day to post stuff because that's when everybody's actually catching up on their shit and like watching. So, maybe,
okay.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But any announcements?
No,
I don't think we have them.
No, I don't think we have any.
Oh no!
Oh no! Wait.
Yeah.
We went live video on YouTube, and we tried to get licensed to do the video thing.
Yes.
So this Friday we're not going to be doing that, but we will be doing a drinking game with creepypastas.
No. What we'll do is we'll be drinking, but we'll watching.
Figure out a way for you to drink with us.
Yes, yeah, but we'll be watching random YouTube videos, and I think we will.
Oh, that's right.
And what we're gonna call it is Free Use Fridays because as long as your content isn't copyrighted, that means you have to apply for a copyright for your content. We can then use fair use and play your videos. As long as we criticize it.
Yeah, it's got to be criticized, reviewed, made fun of. So we're just going to roast people. It's going to be great. And maybe we'll do like a competition. We'll do a points competition.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know.
Yes.
We'll
Or
figure it out.
maybe you bring some videos and I bring some videos, and then we rate the videos, and somebody wins at the end.
My eyeball is sticky.
All right. Well, I'll leave you with this. Question everything. Whilst you are questioning everything and you're going down your conspiracy holes and you come across something that seems anti-Semitic, stop there. There's no need to go further. I can already tell you what's going to happen. 1, it will get deeply anti-Semitic. And 2, not all the time, but sometimes it will lead you to a cult. And cults never end well.
Culty.
Just look at the poor bastard QAnon shaman, man. He's always gonna be part of our show.
You think
he
so?
will always live in infamy on our
Let's
show.
get him on here.
No, dude, I wouldn't.
I would.
Ooh.
Oh, I would immediately. I'd be like, hey, look, we think you're nuts. We know you're nuts, but just wear the costume. Come on the show.
We'll pay you.
We'll let you spout your rhetoric.
Yes.
You deal with us making fun of you. And then we get drunk and we call it a day, man. Does that sound good?
We'll pay you to come.
No, we'll give him free beer. We'll be like, dude, free beer, man.
You have to wear the helmet, though.
Get out of your mom's basement, put your shaman stuff on, and come on over. We're going to get drunk, do a podcast. It would work.
I think it would too, Dingo. I think it would too.
I got nothing else for you guys.
All right, well. Then, if that's the case, Dingo, like we always say...
What do we always say?
Oh, thanks, Obama.
Let's get scratching.